This is the origin, a vibration encoded not in sound, but in light, a pulse buried within the breath of the cosmos, hidden in the emerald script of Thoth himself. They say it was never meant to be read, only remembered. It begins where memory ends, not in the brain, but in the body. This is not a technique for the mind. It will not bow to logic, nor yield to explanation. It was once whispered in the echoing chambers of Dendera and encoded into the breathwork of the yogis who walked barefoot across the Ganges, untouched by flame or fear. Thoth, the keeper of sacred geometry, inscribed it not with ink, but with frequency. He encoded it into the golden ratio that governs all things, from the spiral of galaxies to the curl of your very DNA. The forbidden technique is not hidden because it is dangerous. It is hidden because it is powerful. And power, when misused, becomes poison. Let me ask you, have you ever felt a sudden stillness in the middle of chaos, as if the universe blinked, and in that silence, something inside you lit up like a forgotten temple? That was it, the first touch of the code. The ancient scrolls say, "The healer does not heal the wound. The light beneath the wound remembers itself." This technique is not about fixing. It is about remembering. The body, you see, is not a machine. It is a resonance chamber. You don't heal by fighting disease. You heal by changing the frequency at which your cells vibrate. And Thoth's forgotten technique, the one they erased from the last page of the Emerald Tablet, was designed to do exactly that. But beware, there are mental traps. This is not for those who seek shortcuts, not for those who chant blindly, hoping for miracles. If your desire is to heal without awakening, the gate will close. But if you feel it, that subtle inner pulse, like a second heartbeat buried beneath your breath, you're already halfway there. Now breathe, not shallow, not forced, but as if the air is ancient, as if you are breathing through time itself. Slow, deep, wide, in through your nose, until your spine tingles. Hold, let the silence hum inside you. And now out through your mouth, not as breath, but as release. Repeat, 7 times. On the 7th, something will happen. Your mind may grow quiet or loud. You may feel heat or an ancient cold. Do not stop. Do not analyze. The gate is opening. When the 7th breath leaves you, speak only this word, Ahn. It is not a word. It is a vibration, a key, a code. The ancients believed that this sound, Ahn, was the lost syllable of divine memory. In Egyptian temples, it was sung in pitch-black chambers. In Tibetan caves, it echoed through granite stone. Ahn. Not loud, not soft, just true. Let it come from the sacrum, the base. Let it vibrate the bones. Feel it rise like golden smoke through your spine. Let it touch the center of your skull. If you do it right just once, you'll feel it. Not outside, not above, but within. A warmth, a silence, as if the universe pauses. That's not your imagination. That is your body shifting its code. They told you healing takes time. They lied. Healing takes frequency. And the moment you align with the original tone, the one before trauma, before memory, before name, you return. Not to who you were, but to who you have always been. A field, a light, a portal wearing skin. This is not a place. It is a vibration, hidden between the inhale and the exhale, between thought and no thought. The ancients called it the void that heals, a sacred pause where energy rewrites itself. Anyone who has ever stood alone in a stone chamber deep beneath the temple of Luxor knows this feeling. Not darkness, not silence, something deeper, a kind of density of stillness, a presence that watches back. This is where Thoth's technique begins to reshape your reality, not with action, but with absence. In the modern world, healing is often treated like war. Attack the illness, fight the wound, overcome the flaw. But what if the wound is not something to battle, but something to listen to? In ancient Egypt, before any healing rite could begin, the initiate would be led to the chamber of stillness. Sometimes they would sit for hours, sometimes for days. No words, no movement. Just listening, not with ears, but with energy. Why? Because stillness is not emptiness. It is the sound before sound. the moment before creation speaks, and inside that space, the healer emerges. But let me warn you, this is where many fail. They get impatient. The silence unnerves them. Thoughts rush in. Doubt, judgment, noise. This is the first mental trap, the fear that nothing is happening. But the truth is, everything begins in that nothing. You are not meant to do anything here. You are meant to feel the pause. So now, let us enter this chamber together. Wherever you are, close your eyes. But don't relax, not yet. Instead, hold yourself upright. Feel your spine, straight, alive, sacred. Bring your attention to the center of your chest. Not the heart, not the lungs, the space between them. And now breathe. But this time, focus on the moment after the inhale and before the exhale. There, that instant, that gap. That is the chamber. Do it again. Inhale, hold, feel the stillness. Exhale. This gap, when extended, when entered, begins to hum. A subtle vibration. It may feel like pressure, or warmth, or even a deep sadness rising from nowhere. Let it rise. Do not interpret. Do not push it down. This is your energy field reordering itself. In Tibet, the monks called this gap Togul, the radiant moment before form. In India, it was the silent seat of the Bindu, the spark from which all creation arises. In Egypt, Thoth whispered that only in this chamber could a human meet their divine self. So now I ask you, can you wait? Can you sit inside the pause without trying to fix anything? Can you trust that the stillness is working deeper than any mantra, any medicine, any ritual? Because if you can, you will feel it. A shift, a trembling at the edge of awareness, as if something ancient awakens and says, "You are ready." And when it does speak this phrase aloud, I accept the silence as my teacher. Say it only once. Say it with reverence. And wait. Some feel their hands begin to pulse. Some feel a buzzing in the spine. Others cry, for reasons they don't understand. All are signs, not of weakness, but of resonance. You're not healing. You're realigning. You're not fixing yourself. You're remembering yourself before distortion. And yes, just one true visit to this chamber, one real moment of stillness, can rewrite the frequency of your entire being. This is not a sound you hear with your ears. It is a tone felt with the marrow, heard in the bones, vibrating in the silence between thoughts. It bypasses logic, bypasses memory, and touches only what is ancient in you. Most people don't realize this. The mind doesn't want you to heal. It wants you to understand. But healing isn't about understanding, it's about surrender. And the most dangerous thing to the mind is the tone that bypasses it entirely. Thoth warned his initiates, if you sing this tone without clearing your field, your illusions will scream louder than your soul. Why? Because this tone, when done correctly, is like fire. It does not comfort, it burns. It doesn't explain, it reveals. It doesn't ask permission, it enters. I remember the first time I was led to it. It wasn't in a temple or a cave. It was in a dream that felt more real than waking. A woman cloaked in indigo placed her hand on my chest and said, "Make the sound you're afraid to make." And I did. It wasn't pretty. It cracked. It shook my throat. It made my spine arch like lightning had struck it. But afterward, the silence that followed wasn't empty. It was alive. And in that silence, I saw things I had buried for lifetimes. That was the tone, not a word, not a chant, just a frequency of truth. In ancient Egypt, this tone was called the Zat, a sacred utterance used only in the final initiation. In Sanskrit, it echoes through the syllable Hari, a fierce, awakening vibration known to shatter illusion. But forget the names. The truth is the tone must be discovered, not taught. So here is how you find it. Go back to the stillness. Return to the chamber. Let your breath slow until it becomes almost imperceptible. Then place one hand over your chest and one over your throat. Ask aloud, what truth have I not spoken? Wait. You may feel heat. You may feel fear. You may feel nothing. Then, from the gut, not the throat, let the sound rise. Do not shape it. Do not control it. Do not try to sound spiritual. Let it be ugly. Let it be cracked. Let it be yours. Even if it's just a grunt, a hum, a growl, it will rise like smoke from the ashes of repression. And when it does, let it vibrate through you, not outward to the world, but inward, toward your cells. You will know it's working when the mind goes still, completely, as if someone unplugged the noise machine. Some feel a ringing in their ears. Some feel nausea. Others begin to shake. That's not bad. That's the frequency shaking loose the lies. Remember this: the forbidden tone doesn't heal the body. It exposes the blocks. And once exposed, the body begins to realign itself. It's like opening a locked vault and realizing the treasure was never gold, it was permission. Permission to speak, to cry, to scream, to release. And once you've released it, once the tone passes through you, you'll notice the silence again. But this time, it won't be heavy. It will feel like a soft glow, a quiet hum beneath your ribs. As if your body is saying, "Thank you for finally listening." This is not a chakra. It is older than that. A pulse beneath the bones, a spiral gate of energy where the serpent sleeps. When awakened, it does not rise, it spins until the illusion shatters. Let's be clear. Most people have heard of energy centers. They talk of chakras like colored buttons to be turned on, aligned, or unlocked. But the truth is far more dangerous, far more beautiful. The true gate is not a circle. It is a vortex, a spiral of vibration so ancient that it predates breath itself, and it lives just beneath your spine, dormant. In Egypt, it was symbolized by the coiled serpent on the crown of Thoth, not as a symbol of power, but of containment. In India, it was known as Kundalini, but that word has been romanticized, misunderstood, and misused. The original texts warned, the serpent sleeps for a reason, because when this vortex spins, it does not grant you power. It destroys your illusions of power. This is the second mental trap, the belief that awakening brings bliss. Awakening brings clarity, and clarity often begins with fire. Let me share something with you. I once met a man, a quiet healer, living alone in the Himalayas who hadn't spoken in 9 years. When I asked him what happened after his energy awakened, he said, "I saw every lie I had ever told myself. I couldn't speak until I forgave them." This is what the vortex does. It spins. It pulls to the surface what was hidden, not to punish you, but to liberate you. So now, let's begin. Sit. On the earth if you can, or the floor, back straight, eyes closed. Bring your attention to the very base of your spine, not the tailbone, but the space beneath it, almost where body becomes earth. Breathe in and silently say, "I descend." Breathe out and feel yourself drop. Again, inhale, "I descend." Exhale, let your awareness fall lower. Do this 7 times. Now, place your awareness at the base again and begin to imagine a spiral, spinning counterclockwise, not fast, not bright, just turning. Let it turn as you breathe. Let it gather dust, memory, tension. Let it spin with grief, with guilt, with all you buried in the name of strength. And now as you exhale, let the spiral spin in reverse, clockwise. You may feel dizzy. You may feel heat in your legs or cold in your spine. Stay with it. If your body trembles, let it. If your breath shortens, return to the spiral. This is the fire of uncoiling. The serpent remembers its name. And now, once the sensation becomes undeniable, whisper aloud, "I allow the vortex to rise." Don't force it, just allow. Even a few inches is enough. What you're doing is not visualization. It is a reconnection with your energetic DNA, a code buried since your first lifetime. The ancient priestesses of Sekhmet would train 1 years before being allowed to access this vortex. But here you are touching it through breath, through silence, through will. Understand this, even if you never return to this practice, just this one connection can awaken energy fields that ripple through your entire future. Not because you did something, but because you remembered something. You are not becoming awakened. You are awakening the part of you that never slept. only waited. This is not imagination. It is not visualization. It is the eye that watches the dreamer, the mirror hidden behind your eyes, reflecting not who you are, but what you've forgotten you've always been. Close your eyes. Now where is your awareness? Most people say, in my head, or behind my forehead. But pause. Feel it more closely. There is a pressure, a presence, not in your eyes, but behind them. That is the mirror. In ancient texts, it is referred to as the Eye of Jehuti, the Egyptian name for Thoth. A watching eye, not outward facing, but turned inward into the abyss of memory, soul, and vibration. This mirror doesn't show your face. It shows your energy pattern, your true reflection. The Tibetans called it the clear light mind. The Sufis called it the eye of the heart. Mystics across the earth have known it not as metaphor, but as mechanism. The brain may be the receiver, the eyes may be the lens, but the mirror is the gateway, the bridge between seeing and knowing. But be warned, this is the third mental trap, mistaking what you see for what is true. The mirror shows possibility, not fact. It reveals frequency, not form, and it can reflect your fears just as vividly as your essence. There's a reason initiates were tested in total darkness. If you're ready, truly ready to see, then here is what you must do. Find a quiet place. Darken the room. Turn off every source of distraction. Sit. Breathe slowly. Close your eyes. But this time, do not relax. Focus your awareness just behind the space between your brows. Slightly inward, slightly upward. It's subtle, but it's there like the memory of light behind closed lids. Now breathe in and silently say, "Reveal me." Exhale, "I am ready." Repeat 7 times. On the 7th, you may begin to see colors, shapes, faces, or most commonly, an eye. Do not fear it. This is your gatekeeper. It is not an entity. It is not a god. It is the consciousness of your inner field, testing your readiness. Now, remain in that gaze. If thoughts arise, let them pass. If emotions come, let them swirl. You are looking into the soul's memory vault. Not past lives, not stories, but frequencies. You may feel warmth flood your forehead, a throbbing, a vibration between your eyebrows. Some feel tears come suddenly. Others laugh. Let it happen. You're not going crazy. You're crossing the veil. And if in that mirror you see something unfamiliar, a symbol, a face, a color, don't chase it. Don't label it. Let it teach you. Let it echo. In the mystery schools of Chem, initiates would spend nights gazing into obsidian mirrors, fasting for days before allowing the inner eye to open. They knew the truth never arrives loudly. It arrives in vibration. When the mirror begins to pulse, when your breath synchronizes with that pulse, speak this: "I am not the body that sees. I am the field that remembers." And then, wait. You may feel an inner click, a soft snap, a release. That is the mirror anchoring. From that moment on, your visions will shift. You may see with eyes open what you only saw closed before. You may feel others' emotions, or know things you've never been told. This is not magic. It is resonance. The beginning of vision beyond vision. This is not oxygen. This is vibration in motion. The breath that moves through dimensions, used by ancient initiates to awaken codes buried in the blood. It's not about inhaling, it's about receiving. Let me tell you a secret. The ancients did not breathe the way we do. To them, breath was not merely survival, it was language. Each inhale was a sacred act. Each exhale, a release of something no longer yours. In the temples of Karnak, priests would fast from speech for days before attempting the breath rituals. Not because they needed silence, but because they needed their frequency to be clean. Because breath is not just air. It is the carrier of codes. It is how the soul speaks to the body, and how the universe whispers back. This is where many practitioners fall into the next mental trap. They think breathwork is about control, but the ancient breath, Thoth's breath, is not forced. It is received. If you listen closely, the breath is already moving. You are not doing it. It is doing you. The difference? Awareness. So now, we enter the breath. Not to master it, but to remember it. Find a still place. Sit upright. Relax your jaw. Unclench your hands. Place your awareness at the base of your spine again. Now breathe in through your nose, slowly, for 6 seconds. But don't think about pulling air in. Feel the breath enter you like a mist, like a message, as if it came from the stars. Hold it for 3 seconds, not as a strain, but as a reverence. Let the breath hum in your chest like ancient incense. Then exhale through your mouth, softly, for 6 seconds. But imagine, you are not exhaling air. You are releasing dust, old codes, frequencies that no longer match the being you are becoming. Repeat. 6 inch. 3. Hold. 6 out. Do this 7 times. You may feel something by the 4th breath. A shift, a heat, a subtle pressure on your skin or a ringing in the ears. This is not dizziness. It is adjustment. Your field, your energetic template is recalibrating. Now, on the 8th breath, shift the pattern. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, but hold it for 13 seconds. This hold is ancient. It is the pattern of the sun and moon, of the 13 lunar cycles in the year. The breath of the ancients was synchronized with the cosmic clock. As you hold, feel the energy build. You may feel your hands warm. You may feel time distort. Then exhale for 8 seconds. Let it go. Let it carry pain. Let it carry thoughts. Let it carry all the subtle interference that hides in the nervous system. This breath is not for relaxation. It is for activation. You may cry. You may feel joy. You may feel ancient grief. Let it rise. The priests of Isis knew this. The soul does not rise through words. It rises on the breath it forgot to take. And now, if you're ready, on the next inhale, whisper as you breathe. Receive me. On the hold, think nothing. Just let the silence hold you. And as you exhale, whisper, return me. Do this once. Let it land. This is your breath. Not the breath of the body, but the breath that moves between lifetimes, the breath that called you into this incarnation. You have now touched the ancient wind. This is not music. This is the pulse of the cosmos remembered as sound, a frequency that speaks directly to your blood, your cells, your ancestry. One note, properly sung, can awaken the healing field within your very DNA. You've heard it said, sound heals. But they didn't tell you the truth. They didn't tell you that there is a specific frequency hidden, ancient, feared that doesn't just relax your body, it rewrites your energetic signature. It was once called the blood tone. Thoth never spoke of it in public. It was reserved for the final initiation when the initiate was ready to dissolve all identities and return to the primordial resonance. The blood, you see, is not just a carrier of oxygen. It is the memory of your lineage. It holds the vibration of every ancestor, every trauma, every vow, and until that vibration is cleared, the body remains trapped in silent repetition. That is why healing cannot be complete until the sound reaches the blood. Let me tell you a story. A woman I met in the Andes once sang into a stone bowl for 33 days straight. Not for performance, not for ritual. She said she was singing her blood back to clarity. I asked her what the tone was. She said, it's not a tone you choose. It's the sound you hear when you stop pretending you don't know who you are. And that changed everything. So I invite you now, not to sing, but to be sung. We begin. Find your stillness. Sit or lie in a quiet place. Breathe deeply. Bring your awareness into your heart, then down into your belly, then further into your blood. Feel it, not metaphorically. Feel the warmth, the hum, the flow. Let your awareness ride inside it. Now place your right hand over your chest, left hand over your navel. Close your eyes and hum. Just hum. Not to be musical, not to impress, but to vibrate your bones. Let it be low. Let it come from the belly. Let the lips remain closed. Mmm. Let the sound reverberate through your hands. You may feel the chest begin to vibrate, or the belly pulse, or a sudden emotional flood, as if tears have been waiting for centuries. This is the blood listening. This is memory activating. Now change the hum. Open your mouth slightly and allow it to become na. This is the vibration of cellular release. Let it rise from the gut. Let it flow up the throat and out through the skull. Say it 3 times. Each time, a little slower. After the third, go silent. You may feel heat. You may feel pins and needles. Some feel as if their body is made of sound itself. This is not a side effect. This is a signal. The blood is realigning with your true harmonic frequency, the note you were born with, before the world added its noise. The Egyptian priests believed, each soul enters with a tone. If it is sung even once, it can dissolve every sickness in the body. This is that tone, even if you sang it out of tune, even if your voice cracked, even if you only whispered. If it came from your knowing, it has reached your blood. And when your blood is in harmony, the body follows, the organs shift, the pain unwinds, the old vows are broken, all through one vibration. Your hands are not flesh and bone, they are instruments, portals, receivers, emitters. In every ancient mystery school, they were considered sacred tools, not for touch, but for transmission. And when activated, they can channel energy that heals not only yourself, but others. We live in a time where touch is either forgotten or overused. But in the temples of old, from Egypt to Tibet, from the Andes to the Arctic, the hands were known to be holy. The left hand receives, the right hand sends, and in the center of each palm lies something science has no name for. A spinning node, a chakra, perhaps but even older, a gate, one that opens when the breath aligns with intent, and the field around you begins to pulse in response. It is said that Thoth could heal the sick with a single movement of the hand, not because he was special, but because he remembered how to activate the field through presence. This is not about Reiki. This is not about belief. This is physics, but a kind the West hasn't dared to map yet. Let me show you. Awakening the palm portals. Sit quietly. Place your palms face up in your lap. Breathe deeply. Feel your spine. Anchor it like a tree into the earth. Now, bring all your awareness to your palms. Not just the skin, but the center of the hands. Imagine a small spiral there, spinning not wildly, but deliberately, clockwise in the right palm, counterclockwise in the left. You don't have to believe it. You just have to feel it. It may begin as a tingling, a buzzing, a pulsing, a heat that has no source. This is the first sign that the portal is responding. Now raise your palms to face each other, about the width of your head apart. Breathe slowly, and now, without touching, move them slowly toward each other. Do you feel it? A resistance, a pressure, an invisible energy field building between your hands. That is not imagination. That is your life field, awakened and mirrored. Now slowly begin to rotate your hands in opposite directions, as if shaping a small orb between them. Let it grow. Let it breathe with you. Inhale, the orb expands. Exhale, it pulses. You are now generating coherent energy. You are remembering what every healer once knew. The hand is not a tool. It is a bridge. Healing with the palm portal. Now, place your right hand on your heart center. Left hand over your navel. Close your eyes. Breathe. As you inhale, feel energy being pulled into your left hand, into the body. As you exhale, feel the right hand sending that energy across your chest, into your emotional core. Repeat this loop for 3 minutes. You are literally reprogramming your emotional memory field through polarized current drawing energy from the subtle and cycling it through the body's forgotten electrical map. It may feel like warmth, vibration, even tears rising. Let it. When you are complete, open your hands slowly and whisper, "I carry the current of healing." Even once, even quietly. This seals the portal for now, but the current remains flowing. Even hours later, you may feel buzzing in the fingers, an urge to place your hand on someone in pain. This is not coincidence. This is activation. In the ancient texts of Thoth, he writes, "The hand is the servant of the heart, and when awakened, it becomes the tongue of light." Time is not a line, it is an echo chamber. What you feel now, you've already felt before, And what you choose to feel today sends ripples into futures that have not yet formed. The secret is, you don't heal backward, you heal forward. You've been taught to look at healing like a timeline, something broken in the past, something that needs fixing here in the present, so you can feel better in the future. But Thoth taught a different truth. All time exists as vibration, and vibration responds not to memory, but to intention. This means you can send healing into the future. You can call your higher timeline into the now. You can shift the shape of your destiny by the frequency you hold right now. Let me explain. Every thought, every sound, every breath you've taken still echoes in the field. They don't disappear. They fold, layer upon layer, like ripples in still water, like radio signals layered across dimensions. When you activate the healing frequency, when you breathe with presence, when you speak from the mirror behind your eyes, when you open your palms and let light flow, those ripples move forward. They don't just change your mood, they recode your trajectory. This is what the ancients meant by walking the path of light. Not metaphor, mechanism. So now, we begin this practice, the final practice, before the full integration, and it's simpler than you'd expect. The echo practice. Sit quietly. Return to the breath of the ancients. 6 inch, 3 hold, 6 out. After 3 cycles, place your right hand on your heart. Left hand open to the sky. Close your eyes. Now speak aloud, slowly. I send light into the thread of my becoming. Feel it. Not as words, but as intention. Now imagine yourself in the future. Not 10 years, not even 1 year. Just one moment. A moment when you are completely whole, completely in your power, free of what you've carried. Don't see the clothes. Don't see the surroundings. See the energy. Who are you when you are fully healed? What does your field feel like? What is the vibration of your already healed self? Hold that image. Hold that tone. Now let your present body resonate with it. Inhale, and imagine breathing from that future self into your lungs. Hold. Let that frequency settle. Exhale. Let go of anything that does not match. Do this 7 times. By the 4th or 5th, something strange may happen. You may feel a wave of energy coming from the future, a soft pull, a warmth, a vision, a sudden knowing. This is not imagination. This is the echo loop activating. What you call forward begins to respond. Because your field is a magnet. It does not attract what you want. It attracts what you resonate. And in this moment, you have just sent a signal across time, an echo into the you that is becoming. That echo will grow. It will reflect back in unexpected ways. Synchronicities, sudden clarity, even spontaneous healing. In the temples of Thoth, this was known as the third current. Not past, not present, not future, but the bridge between them created by intention and frequency. When you live from the third current, you are no longer trapped in fate. You are sculpting destiny, one echo at a time. You've been searching, practicing, remembering, but all of it, every breath, every sound, every spiral of energy, was leading to this. A single moment of true alignment, the moment where the self dissolves and the field takes over. They never told you this. All the rituals, the mantras, the breathwork, the tones, none of them matter unless one thing happens. You choose to let go. Not let go of pain, not let go of memories, but let go of the idea that you are the one healing yourself. Because the truth is, you're not. You are the key. But the energy field, the great pattern, is what heals. And it only activates when the ego steps aside, when the story drops, when presence becomes purity. Thoth called this the silent moment, a state beyond effort, beyond seeking, a flash of pure frequency in which you are not breathing, but are being breathed, not meditating, but being meditated. And here's the great secret. You don't need 1,000 hours of practice to reach this. You only need one moment done truly. One moment where your mind is quiet, your body is still, your frequency is clear. One moment where you say, not with words, but with your field, I'm ready. And the field answers. So now, We create that moment together. The final alignment ritual. Go to a quiet place. No music. No incense. Nothing. Just you. Sit. Feet touching the ground. Palms open. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Hold. Exhale completely. And now, don't do anything. Just sit. Don't try to feel energy. Don't repeat any words. Don't seek sensation. Be still. And now let everything fall away. Let your name fall away. Let your past fall away. Let your body float. You may feel your awareness rise slightly above your head, or behind your heart, or dissolve completely. If thoughts come, let them drift. If emotions rise, let them move through. Stay in this stillness for 1 minute. Then, very gently speak aloud. I allow the field to heal me. Pause. Wait. You may feel nothing. You may feel warmth. You may feel flooded by light. It does not matter, because you have just given permission. And the field will now respond in its timing, in its language, through your body. This is the moment that changes everything. Because now, you are no longer trying to heal. You are simply allowing the healing to complete itself. And Thoth's final secret was this. The moment you stop seeking, the vibration seeks you. It may come tomorrow, in a dream, in a conversation, in a memory. It may come like a wave or a whisper, but it will come because you've aligned your field, because you've remembered, because you've returned. If this script has resonated, if the breath has shifted, if your hands pulsed, if your spine remembered, if the mirror showed you truth, if the sound cracked you open, then you are one of us. Like this video to amplify the signal. Share it to ripple the field. Subscribe not as a follower, but as a keeper of the current. This is not a channel, it is a portal, and your presence here is part of the return. Welcome home, welcome to the frequency portal. We are just beginning.